Invited to my house. I even give her. I gave you slippers. Rahma.
See, that's bare minimum.
Wait, let me tell you. My friends will tell you. I offer salt and toiletries. That's it.
That's them.
That's
if they're
it.
okay with that, that's fine.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's episode of the Haraam podcast with me, Rahma Ramadan.
Kevin, there you go again with my name. I mean, I know you want to be me, but calm down.
Anyway, this is a That's So Haraam podcast. Now, guys, sit down and enjoy the episode. I am going to go and grab my pork.
That's so haram, Kevin. I have really good coffee because he knows I drink a lot of coffee. So Nifike, he's giving me Doman's instant coffee.
It is good coffee for me.
Wow.
What do you consider to be good coffee?
I have.
Like the standard is Java AA.
Java AA, that's standard?
Yeah, that's
And
standard.
you have to use, like,
And
coffee maker.
yes, you have to use a coffee maker too, and a very good one. Yeah.
Wow, what a way for you to start the podcast.
You're just terrible with
That's it?
coffee. Actually, instant coffee. My God.
Is
The coffee gods have cursed you.
Is the camera?
It was on.
Listen, the coffee gods have cursed you. If your year turns out to be bad, just know it's them.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you guys can hear how mean Rahma usually is. I invited to my house. I even give her. I gave you slippers. Rahma.
See, that's bare minimum.
Wait, let me tell you. My friends will tell you. I offer salt and toiletries. That's it.
That's them.
That's
if they're
it.
okay with that, that's fine.
That's it.
Let me tell you, there's another time that we went to Naivas, for buying stuff.
Yeah.
So this man, because he's here bragging that he's given me above and beyond things.
I didn't say above and beyond. Plus, above and beyond is relative.
Exactly. So we're supposed to, we're recording a podcast, but we said we're going to make breakfast, right? So he tells me, because now he has sausages that are not halal in the fridge. So he's like, oh, we can buy halal sausages. So he bought them. And then right after he tells me, and never say that I've never bought you something, I'm like, young man, sit down. No, wait. Young man, take several seats. This sausage is for 250 shillings.
I want to make you feel like an asshole, by
Calm
the way,
down.
because first of all, they were 320, and number two, now hold up.
Because 120 shillings makes a difference.
Number two, imagine a guy who earns 10 G's a whole month. That's literally 3%. Is it 3% or 30%?
Who cares? You don't earn 10,000 shillings.
Chill. Hold up. You spoiled, entitled girl. Literally, 33% of someone's income went to you. And here you are saying, even the coffee was bad. Hey, wait.
You don't earn 10,000 shillings.
I do.
You don't.
Not.
Please.
But
You don't.
the principle is what matters.
No, you don't earn 10,000 shillings, so that doesn't matter.
The principle matters, I'm telling you.
No, you don't earn 10,000 shillings. Next
Ladies and
question.
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's episode of the That's So Haraam podcast, episode 31, Kamake. This, by the way, let me tell you, this is what happens through and through. So, by the way, let me tell you, 2021 is the year of the boy child.
Next time, buy me a Rolex, I'll tell you thank you.
2021 is the year of the boy child, and I'm not going to take this abuse anymore. So,
But
you are too evil.
boy childs have had like centuries of centuries.
Ati?
Boy childs have had
No.
centuries and centuries.
No, they haven't.
Where were you?
Ati?
Where were you?
Where was I?
Yeah.
I just came from the toilet. Why?
Oh, you missed the head start that all you guys have gotten.
Which head start?
You don't know?
Gani?
So I told you boy childs have
I
had
told you.
centuries of centuries.
Who had a bet on how long it would take for Rahma to bring up feminism?
So you're the one who said
I just said this is the year of the boy child because
See, he
let me tell you.
always introduces these topics, and then when I have a comeback, it's like, "Oh, you're pulling the card. You pulled the card."
I did not pull the card. Let me tell you, of late, the boy child has been overshadowed by who? By
Because
by
you
the
guys
girl
had
child.
a head start.
Those are
all those years.
Those are the men, not the boy child. You can't tell me that I had a head start when I'm 26 years old.
Well, catch up, my friend.
How do you catch up?
I don't care.
How do you catch up?
So this is the same
It is
conversation.
like, no. It is like you have cooked and okay, your mom has cooked, you ate, you came later on, and then you asked for food. She's like, Aya, where were you? See, ushibe na ulale. That's how.
Okay, let me contextualize what you're telling me right now, right?
Contextualize.
Yes, big words.
What do you mean?
So what you're telling me right now is the same conversation that women have been having for a long time. They're like, what we want is just equal rights and equal opportunities. But y'all are like, catch up. You see now?
Who said catch up?
That's why. That's the most.
Did not say catch up.
That's the whole premise of feminism.
But think about it. Has there really been any years that the girl child has been front and center as from the last few years, even in Kenya? Look at how we focus on girl child getting education, girl child doing this, girl child. It actually became a problem that the boy child is actually not the men, but the boy child, the child himself. He feels sidelined, he feels overshadowed by the girl child. Because the girl child will get 379 marks and go to Alliance. The boy child needs 430. See, 430 to go to the same school. Right? So 2021 is the year of the boy child.
So what is the problem with that?
Adi?
What is the problem with that?
It is because you are trying to defend and say that we have had so many years of privilege catch up. But not all of us have.
No, but I'm saying, what is your issue with the marks thing that you just raised? Yeah.
With the what?
You're saying that there's a different cutoff for boys and girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
My main point is that the boy child has been neglected for so long, and it's about time someone speaks up for the boy child. The boy child goes through a lot, by the way. In case you knew, Tuma Fair.
True, but then, like, seriously speaking, why the focus seems to be more on girls right now? It's because for a long time, everything was geared towards making sure that men thrive. That's just how the systems are set up.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Because the people that were in power were men. So naturally, they would not be aware of the issues that are particularly unique to women. So just from the word go, the systems are not particularly tailored to ensure that women not even feel comfortable, women are adequately taken care of, or the environment is conducive for a woman or for a girl to perform in the same level as a man would. So that's why now when there's a shift and when people are saying, let's now make sure that the level playing field is okay for both parties to survive, for both parties to work at an optimum, then now it seems like there's more focus being put on girls. But you forget that the system's already tailored to occupy and to accommodate men. Right?
Yeah,
so now how about let's just make it equal and let's make some changes so that even women can operate in every space and they can be taken care of in every space. That's just what it is. It's not like focus has been shifted. No. We're just trying to make it equal opportunities and equal rights. That's just it.
If there is a podcast that is as versatile as this one, Maze, you just tell me, how do you start talking like that? Like that's right off the bat, we are getting deep. That's so Haraam Podcast on Instagram. That's Haraam Podcast on YouTube. That's Haraam on Twitter. I'm telling you, yo, Maze. I want to ask you something, seeing as we're kind of in the premise of discrimination and sort of, right? There's something that I noticed. I was driving around South B, and I saw some South B and South C, beautiful apartments. Oh, beautiful, marvelous, very nice. I come in. There's one that I walked into, and I asked how much are they renting them for. They told me, oh, gee, there's someone in the office. So I'm like, okay, so there's so the guy just told me live, point blank, hey brother Rosafi, you wouldn't be allowed to stay here. This place is only for Muslims. This place is only for Somalis and stuff like that. And you actually stayed at such a place before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why why discriminate in our own country? How am I not allowed to stay somewhere because it's Muslim only? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to speak from
the landlord's point.
No, not from the landlord's point, from a point of experience, because I have stayed in an apartment where the whole building, all the tenants were just Muslim.
And it was really nice by the way.
Yeah, it was a nice apartment.
From the outside.
It was a nice apartment from the inside as well. So
nice.
The whole premise of that from where I was staying, I don't know about other places, but I would think that the rationale is the same, was because first there was a mosque in the building. So the ground floor was just the mosque, and then you have the houses up, right? So, and of course, just the way Islam is, there's certain things, the rules also apply to the kind of lifestyle that you can live, what you can eat, blah, 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 right? So you're staying in a building that has a mosque that is considered a very sacred place. And then you have maybe, let's say you allow tenants of different religions. Then you have someone who is probably smoking, drinking in the same building, having parties in there, considering the fact that Muslims don't mix unnecessarily, like men and women don't mix unnecessarily, unless you're related, you're like the immediate family, right? And then of course you're drinking, you're smoking and all of that, and maybe you're even cooking food that is not halal, and maybe even pork, right? So this is all happening in a building where there's a mosque in it. So all of this already is wrong, right?
What of the buildings that don't have mosques in them?
It's just a lifestyle that is different. And then you're in a building, probably you're living with, let's say if you are staying there, you probably have your girlfriend over sometimes, right? And then you guys are not married.
Yes, I am a slut like that.
Yes, you're a slut like that. So all of this...
#free the nipple.
If you're unrelated, but sure. All of this, if you're to look at Islam completely, is haram, right?
Yeah.
So now a landlord is thinking, I'm going to allow all these people to live in my house and do all of these things, and I have the mosque right there. And okay, if the landlord probably allows people from different religions, of course the dress code is not going to be Islamically correct, right?
Yeah.
So imagine people are going to the mosque and you have someone walking around with booty shorts. I didn't say that you can't wear booty shorts. I'm just saying even the person wearing booty shorts is going to feel very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, I still have the vision of booty shorts in my head.
Yeah. So it's just that it's just different principles, and the people who are living there are just different. So you don't want to seem like you're imposing on other people, and yet you don't want to make your tenants feel uncomfortable.
So do you feel like it is okay for them to discriminate and, okay, let's not use the word discriminate, not allow people of other religions to stay there? Do you feel like it is okay?
I don't think it's okay, because everyone has a right to live wherever they want to.
Yeah.
But then imagine, because I'm thinking about it from a comfortability and tolerance perspective.
Yeah.
You can, no problem, I can, if I was a landlord, I'd probably allow anyone to live in my house, right? But then I'm thinking about it from...
As long as they are subscribed to the podcast.
As long as they've subscribed to the podcast.
Yeah.
If I wasn't Muslim, I wouldn't want to live in that apartment that I was living in, because one, I wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd constantly feel like they're judging me. Like I'm walking around and I want to change a bit just so that, hey, am I coming out of my house looking like this?
Oh yeah.
I feel like my jeans are too tight. So I would really not be I'd be uncomfortable if I wasn't a Muslim living there. And then I'd plan my coming home and my leaving in a way that I don't find people coming from the mosque, because I'd be meeting guys coming inside the mosque. And also some people who are not Muslim really find the call to prayer very annoying. Because imagine you're not subscribed to this religion and you're constantly hearing calls to prayers on a loudspeaker like 5 times in a day. You probably just want to sleep, or you've come from a night out and you want to sleep.
World's best alarm.
You've probably come out from a night out and you want to sleep.
True.
So for me, from my perspective, it's just about
I see you
being comfortable.
I see you at that point, but now again, I want to bring you back and ask. And okay, you feel that it's not okay, right? But you've explained it, and for me, it actually makes sense. But again, it goes back to the point of, is it all right? Because if that's the case, then I can build a very nice apartment and say only agnostics or only atheists are allowed to live here.
And you can. And I think even this conversation...
But I don't think it's right, because it goes back to the argument of someone not liking gay people. If they are not fucking in front of you, what someone does in the comfort of their own bedroom is really none of your concern. So it's the same thing. I'm being respectful outside, of course, I'm playing loud music, but when I'm in my house and I want to smoke my marijuana or drink my alcohol or have sex with a prostitute, it's still in the confines of my own house, and I'm not disturbing anyone. Unless she is a screamer, that time you cover her mouth. But anyway, regardless, you are still in your own house. Should it read, because does that feel like you're kind of intruding into someone else's life? Now with the example of your apartment, that one makes sense because there's a mosque, and that's a holy place, and it's just the same thing as why you can't build a church next to a club. I mean, that I respect. Right, but what of these apartments in South Sea that are really nice, very well built and everything, but they have no mosque, but they only allow Muslims to live there.
The thing with I don't know if this is the same in Christianity or all other religions, but the thing with Islam is that if you're putting someone in a position where you're kind of enabling them to sin, you're even going to get the same sins that they have gotten, as if you're the person who is actively performing the sin. So let's say landlord is afraid, or one of the things that made him say that this apartment is just for Muslims only is that he doesn't want anyone from another religion to be on it, because he's afraid of what all of the haram things that they're going to do or that they're going to indulge in. Let's say this is one of the things that they are afraid of. So by them allowing you to be in the house and then you indulging in whatever the hell you want, he's actually being an enabler in that. So by him knowing all these things, by him putting himself in that position, he's just going to get the same sins as you as the performer.
You are speaking of it in terms of, I mean, when you argue like that, it's fine. It makes sense. But what if it was to be applied all through? Say I want to have a place and I only want Christians, right? It's like right now where I'm staying. Where I think before we actually had a Muslim family staying there, right? And there wasn't that feeling of but anyway, as you explain it, it actually makes sense.
But
it makes so much sense.
If you have a private establishment, it's a private company, you reserve the right of admission.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
There's a list of people that I don't want to come into my establishment.
So you can, with due reason, say that I don't want you here.
You can't take him to court, and like this. It's like the story of the baker in the US who refused to bake a gay cake.
I mean, what reason does that baker have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean he said it infringed on his religious rights. He doesn't believe in homosexuality, so he shouldn't be forced. To render services to them. Yeah.
Now, if that was to be taken to court, it would depend on how secular or religious the state is, and of course, it would really even depend on it would go down to even the judge that listens to the case.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you do really have a reason and objectively so, then it's okay.
But think about it. Like, we have just come from recording at Sape Lounge, the episode that will never air. 2 episodes in our archives now. Nice. Imagine we have come from we are going to Sape Lounge, right? We are going to record, and they say they don't want Muslims there. And for you, generally, like, we are going in the morning where there's no secular music playing. There's, we're still halal-ish, right? How would you take that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
Yes, I've been to places that predominantly sell alcohol.
Yeah.
And even if you're going there just to dine or not buy alcohol, they'll tell you we don't allow you. We won't allow you if you're wearing the headscarf.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Name them, shame them.
No.
Shame them. No. Pana. At least one thing I know that we are better than rednecks. At least that.
No, it's actually it's more common than you think.
Really? Tell me where.
Yes.
Tell me where I shall write an angry email.
I think 2 times in Nairobi and like countless times in Mombasa.
Even in Mombasa?
Yes.
Really?
I think for them, they're scared of how it's going to look.
Your governor is Muslim, for Christ's sakes.
True, but then imagine someone like there's tapas in Mombasa and it looks as clubbish as it can.
Tapas.
So
Sometimes.
Imagine someone with a scarf going into tapas and maybe like someone is taking photos. Things just land on social media.
Yeah.
It just looks wrong.
So they are protecting you.
They're protecting them. They just don't want to look like they're allowing people who are not supposed to be there to be there.
I don't see the point. If you are a grown-ass woman of 26 years old, of 26 years, and you walk into my establishment and say a picture of you is taken, your parents can't blame me.
True, but imagine how it will look like for them.
I don't see the big deal.
Well, they see the big deal.
Really?
Yes.
Even in Nairobi, like, they tell you, like, you can't enter.
Yeah. And maybe this is during the day, and during the day, most of these places just function as a normal restaurant.
Muna for kuza pesa.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, the money that they get from you and compared to like thousands of other people, does it really matter?
But what if you are dining?
They don't care.
Really?
Yes.
That's actually shocking. That's actually, honestly, truly shocking. I never thought that we have such places where you wouldn't be allowed in because you have a hijab on.
Yeah.
So they will tell you to take off your hijab, then come in.
If you want to, you can take it off and then come in.
That's infringing on your religious right.
This is where you walk away and just go somewhere else.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, man. It honestly doesn't make any sense.
But naturally, I don't think I'd go to a place that looks very clubbish.
Yeah.
Only because of just my comfort.
Yeah. I remember a time I did that to a Muslim friend of mine. I've not mentioned her name, of course. I took her to Milan for brunch.
I hear the food is really nice.
It's overpriced and
really
overrated.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus,
I was going to go there during the day.
Plus, funny enough for me, despite how I look, I'm more one for all you can eat. That's for me. That's wasting money. It is money. Believe it or not, I have a small appetite. Believe it or not.
They don't.
Yeah. But for me, going for an all you can eat is a waste of time. Anyway, I took her to Milan. I didn't tell her where I was taking her. I just took her. But at that time, I wasn't as aware of things as it is now. Like nowadays, if you're recording somewhere else, I'd ask you, would you be okay with us recording here, recording there,
Yeah.
But before I wasn't that aware, I was just like, let me make my friend uncomfortable. It's fun. So we pulled up at Milan. She and guys were drinking and everything. She felt so awkward. Like, yes, we walked in and we ate, but she felt so awkward. And she was actually upset at me. So for me, I'm like, the fuck are you being upset for? Now that you've explained to me, I actually see it, and I have an apology to make 1 year later. But
you're a bad person.
I am not a bad person.
You're a bad person.
I'm a fun friend.
No, you're a bad person.
Do you really think that?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, you should be very, very tolerant. It reminds me of this conversation that was being had.
Yeah.
Was I in the room? I'm not sure. But it was, I think, the first Christmas after I had joined where I was working at a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they were thinking about where to have the Christmas party. And usually I think they would have it at a place that seemed clubbish.
Yeah.
But now they had to rethink it because I was part of the team now and they just couldn't choose anywhere without thinking of the ambience. So this conversation was being had in a room next to me, but I wasn't aware of it. So after when I was being told, I was like, that's actually pretty nice of them because you'd go out of your way to make sure the other person feels comfortable, right? And then I think later after when we were at the venue, they constantly kept on asking me if I was okay. And I didn't realize it after because the place was okay. But after I didn't realize it, one of my colleagues was telling me that they were having a conversation and they were very aware that the place that normally they used to traditionally have their parties at wouldn't be quite comfortable for me because it was primarily a club. Yeah. That just happened to have good meat and choma.
Oh, nice.
So they had to look for a place that...
Was it in Jugunas?
No, it wasn't Jugunas.
Okay.
So they had to find another place that equally had good meat and a good barbecue, but just wasn't clubbish.
That's really nice of them.
Yeah.
Because again, and we talked about it in the podcast that will never air. Sometimes I don't feel like it's discriminatory. Like I'm doing it knowing. Like I'm thinking about it now. When I was taking my friend to Milan for brunch, I didn't think much of it. I was like, let me make my friend uncle initially, but then we will have fun after because she loves that kind of music, right? So we get there. She was so awkward, but we still had a good time. But then when we were leaving, so she tells me, "Yo, that wasn't cool." I'm like, "What?" You know.
So she told you would you just pack and go to another place?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Rahma, I am a good friend. Despite what you despite what you make people believe about me, I am actually a good friend.
Okay, let me tell you what would make you even a cooler friend.
Yeah.
If you found out if the place had halal food. So if you call me like, Rahma, let's go for lunch at this place. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then you tell me they have halal food.
Do you know?
You're my best friend. I am coming to that place.
Do you know that nowadays, like every time everywhere I go, I'm checking if they have a halal certification.
Yeah.
Ever since the halal social story, the way you made me seem like a typical Kikuyu mzee.
By the way, if there's a halal certification, then you know it's probably the hygiene standards are very high.
Actually what I do nowadays. Like I wouldn't take you to KFC now if it's all halal, or because I realize that chicken is halal. Mm-hmm. Some branches are.
Yeah, some branches are, some are not.
But yeah. So I am a good friend. Mm-hmm. Hey, looking at the time. Hey, my God, this is going to be a short episode, ladies and gentlemen. My car keys, Loizo. We are going somewhere to nenda mahali, lakini. Say something.
No, I was going to say something, but let me not.
No, please.
No, you'd say that I'm really mean to you, so let me just slide today.
It's your thing. Why are you going to stop all of a sudden?
Because I'm being nice.
Be authentic.
Because I'm being nice. It's my 2021 resolution.
Really?
To be nice to you on the podcast.
But you're honest with me off the podcast.
But you always say I'm mean to you on the podcast, so let me just give that to you.
And at this rate, I'm sure there is someone typing in the comments. Get marriage counseling.
Maham.
Definitely Maham. Definitely Maham.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that has been episode 31 of the That's Haraam podcast. It's slightly short today.
This is like a mini podcast.
This actually is a mini podcast, but you will take it and you will enjoy it. Check us out on YouTube at That's Haraam Podcast, Instagram at That's Haraam Podcast, Twitter at That's Haraam, and we shall see you guys next week with a special episode. Let's just say that. Hopefully.
Fingers
crossed. Take care and peace, guys.
That was like 30 minutes.
Kaba,
Exactly.
how long was it?